Welcome to These Are the Blades of Our Lives, the figure skating show where I talk to you about figure skating like it is drama for our mamas. Ice, ice, baby, baby, ice, ice, guys. The season for the Grand Prix has just started, and I am trying to find a way to cope with it as best as I can, given the fact that I don't like the theme of the rhythm dance and all of the political shenanigan that is going to go down in ice dance and women, to a lesser extent, pairs and men. I feel like I need to have whatever little fun I can to try to figure out a way to deal with the nonsense that's about to happen. But as we prepare ourselves for this nonsense, we must continue on with the season. And we are going to continue right on over to Cup of China. Ni. Yes, we are taking ourselves over to China, to the Cup of China. Now, I'm going to do my prediction. Don't know how wrong I'm going to be in my prediction, but being wrong is actually half of the fun. So this is my prediction for Cup of China, how I think it's going to go. As always, I'm going to do judges pick, my pick, and I will start with pairs. I am so excited for pairs. You guys don't even know how happy I am for pair. Why? Well, I'm excited and I'm also anxious because one of my favorite all-time pairs is making a comeback. And yes, we are talking about one of the original diva, the queen of giving you pace in figure skating, of giving you position, of giving you edge control of figure skating. Yes, I am talking about the comeback of Wang Jing Sui and Kong Hong. They are coming back. Yes. And I'm excited and anxious. I don't know where they are in their journey and their process. I know Han was really injured, and that's why they had decided to stop. Is he coming back because he really wants to and he's healthy? Is the Federation forcing him? I have so many mixed emotions, but all I can do is I cannot wait to see them perform. So I feel like the judges' pick and my pick will probably be, at least for the top three, pretty similar. So for me, I think the judges' pick would be Wang Sui and Kong Hong. In second place would be Sarah Conti and Niccolo Marti. And third place would be Anastasia Meltonkina and Luca Barilova. In fourth place, I can see them going with Rebecca Gilardi and Filippo Ambrosini, followed by probably Katie Macbeth and Daniel Parkman, then Jishuan Zhang and Yi Han Hong, and then maybe Lucretia Bacardi and Matteo Garizzi, and probably finishing everything else would be Fiona Bombardier and Benjamin Manar. That would be the judge's pick. My pick, the podium would probably be the same for me, which is, Swen Hong, followed by Sarah and Nicolo, followed by Anastasia and Luca, followed by Zhang, and where I would differentiate would be fourth on. So for me, in fourth place would be Ji Shui Zhang and Yi Hong Hua. And then in fifth place, I would put Katie Macbeth and Daniel Parkman. After Katie and Daniel, I would put Rebecca and Filippo. Then, of course, Lucretia and Matteo, followed by Fiona and Benjamin. Now, the only thing that I could see changing any of this is if the political shenanigan that we saw both in Cup of Georgia, that's what I'm going to call it, Cup of Georgia, as well as what we just saw happen at the Grand Prix de France. What I'm saying is, and I'm going to go into theories here, are the Italians getting behind their pairs because they feel they have a better chance at a medal with pairs, and they made a backdoor deal and they sacrificed their ice dance, and that's why we had the situation with Charlene and Marco? And please, anything is possible in figure skating, okay? You might think I'm all conspiracy theory, but everything is possible in figure skating. The political snake in the grass is extreme. So it is possible that the Italian Federation decided they have a better chance at getting a medal with the pairs, and they decided to sacrifice Charlene and Marco because they have literally been struggling the past 2 seasons, and they're deciding to throw their powers behind Sarah and Nicolo. In that case, I feel like we may even see Sarah and Nicolo winning this event. However, if what happened to Charlene and Marco was a sign that the Italian Federation lacks strength, I could see Sarah and Nicolo winning a bronze medal here. And also, we have to keep in mind the fact that the Georgian Federation, Russia 2.0, has literally inherited everything from Russia, including all of the previous Russian judges. A lot of the previous Russian judges are now judging for Georgia. So all of that political power, all of that, Eastern European bloc voting has now shifted alliance behind Georgia. So if we see a continuation of what happened at Cup of Georgia, here at Cup of China, Anastasia and Luka might win. So the judges, I might be wrong about the judges' pick. The judges' pick might be Anastasia and Luka, followed by Sui and Hung, then Sarah and Nicolo may end up in third place, depending on how the politicking are playing. But I will justify my pick. Now, I understand we have not seen Sui and Hong in years, and this comeback literally came sort of left field. My take on it in terms of skating skills, presentation, ice presence, packaging, the whole shebang, if Sui and Hong is 70%, 70% near their best. They don't have to be near their best. If they are just 70% near their best, there's no way Sarah and Nicolo or Anastasia and Luka can touch them. If that were to happen, that would be pure political bullshit. There is no way Anastasia and Luka or Sarah and Nicolo can touch Sui and Hong at 70%. That for me is why I'm putting Sui and Hong in first place for both me and the judges. Also, this is Cup of China, so they should have that home bonus advantage that you're supposed to have when you compete at home. Now, again, I don't know what's going on with the Italians, if they made a deal or if the Italian Federation is just weak, because for any federation that's hosting an Olympic, what happened to Charlene and Marco should not have happened. So I'm either thinking they made a deal to back their men and their pair, or the federation is just really weak. If the federation is not weak and Sarah and Nicolo are relatively clean here, this should be an easy silver for them. Now, if both Anastasia, Luka, and Sarah and Nicolo are clean, I would still go with Sarah and Nicolo simply because I feel like their programs this season really suits them. They've made a lot of progress in terms of their twist, in terms of their lifts. They're growing. So for me, in terms of them connecting with each other, which I see a lot more, as opposed to Anastasia and Luka, which is, as a pair, they feel very business-like to me. So if both teams are clean, I would still lean more towards Sarah and Nicolo because they have a little more connection with each other than Anastasia and Luka. Now for me, in fourth place, I'm putting Zhang and Huang. because this young pair, they're the ones who like the Chinese qualifier, the Olympic qualifier, and earned that spot for China. And their elements are so good. I know he's not the nicest guy in the kiss and cry. He wasn't very nice to her. And again, this is my issue with pairs and specifically pair men sometimes. It's the reason why I don't like Anastasia and Luca, specifically Luca, because of how he treated his last partner. Now, I don't know if, you know, it's that level of situation with Huang, but we do know he's not very nice in the kiss and cry. But that aside, I feel like they have such wonderful elements. They have so much potential, and I wish that they would not get buried because of the seniority requirement. And figure skating in almost all the discipline, there's this sort of ideology of you having to wait your turn. And I personally hate that in figure skating. I always want the skaters to be rewarded in the moment of their skating, not 3 years from now when they've done their due diligence in the process. So I do feel like, technically speaking, this pair is really strong. And if they go clean, I would love to see them rewarded for what they're doing. I am then having Katie and Daniel. They really impressed me in the Grand Prix de France. They've impressed me all season. If they can continue along this line, they really would be putting themselves into that conversation for that second spot for the American pairs. And this is a very important competition for them if they want to keep themselves in that conversation. Now, Rebecca and Filippo, you guys know how much I love this pair. Their connection with the music, with each other, the in-between skating, their lifts, all of the movements coming in and out of each of their elements, just exquisite. However, the side-by-side jumps are so bad, that and their throws are sometimes hit or miss. So that for me makes it difficult for me to really push them higher. Then Lucretia and Matteo, I dislike their short program so much. The packaging, the program, everything about it is just a big fat no for me. The Romeo and Juliet is more bearable for me, but that short program, I'm just like, no. And then Fiona and Benjamin, I'm putting last only because I haven't seen them all season and I really don't know where they are or where to really put them. So I'm putting them last. For my men pick, me and the judges are going to have very different opinion on how this should go down. So for the judges pick, absolutely, Mikhail Shodorov will be in first place. I think they'll likely go with Daniel Grasso in second place. Shun Soto probably in third place, followed by Junhwa Cha, followed by Denis Vasiliev, followed by Boyang Zhang, then probably Sota Yamamoto, then Tomoki Hiwatashi, followed by Jacob Sanchez, then Dewa Day, and then probably last Xing Ming Peng. For me, for my pick, it's still Mikhail Shidorov in first place. In second place for me, it's Junhwa Cha. In third place, I am keeping Shun Soto. In fourth place is Denis Vasiliev, followed by Boyang Zhang, followed by Sota Yamamoto, then Tomoki Hiwatashi, then Jacob Sanchez, then Dewa Day, and then all the way at the bottom for me, Daniel Grasso, and I'm keeping in last place Ximing Peng. Why is Mikhail, and to justify my pick, Mikhail has such beautiful, exquisite jump technique. You guys know I'm constantly going on about his jump technique. And he also has a short program that I absolutely adored. I saw it at the Dennis Tin Memorial and I just felt like it was so effortlessly cool. It suited him so well. And then the long program is still a work in progress, and I'm hoping to see more progress from it here. So if he's relatively clean here, he should win. Last time we saw Junhwa Cha, he had to withdraw because he was having boot problem. I'm praying to all the skating deities that the boots are now fixed, that he is going to give us a beautiful sad quad, beautiful quad toe, and he is just going to come back fighting. This is what I'm praying for. So I'm putting him in second place. Shun Soto. Oh my God, the Japanese men seem to be like all injured and just so much. All I want is for Sun Soto to break 100 in the short program, which is not going to happen because just reaching a 95 is monumental. The only person breaking 100 so far in the short program is Yuma and Ilya. That's it. But if Shun could break 100 in the short, that would be a great confidence booster for him. And if he could, or I'm not even going to ask for both, or either he breaks 100 in the short or he skates a clean free program. I will take either or. Then Denis Vasiliev, there's been a lot of off the ice drama going on with poor Denis. I know that his federation and funding situation is not great. I just recently heard that he's no longer with Stefan Lambiel, who is his longtime coach. It sounds like it was an amicable split, but let's be honest, this is figure skating. Nothing is ever amicable, but I hope this is not affecting him and he comes out with two really good programs and is able to deliver here. He's always a fan favorite of mine. Then Boyang, again, another fan favorite, our local Spidey man on ice. I really want him to be able to come back to be healthy. He's been skating with injury for so long, and the road back for him has been slow. But we know Boyang Jang, he has this tendency to really show up for the Olympic season and really show up for the Olympic. So you could never completely count him out. And this being the home ice, we're definitely gonna see the show of love from the Chinese fan with the stuffed animals all over the ice, reminiscent of the Hanyu Ted Pooh Bear, reign of the Pooh Bear. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm hoping he has a good outing. We know that Sota Yamamoto is injured. He's also another skater that's been competing in pain. And that triple axel is his arch nemesis. That triple axel really just seems to hate him. So you never know. Then you have Tomoki Hiwatashi, who seems to have a resurgence. He's making a comeback for this Olympic season and giving how hard the American men are menning. He's doing just enough to put himself in that conversation. We have young Jacob Sanchez. He, I feel, is just here for the experience, but you never know. He can go clean in the short and then clean enough in the long program to get himself a top 6 finish. Daewoo Day, I'm such a fan of his skating. I think he picks really nice music. Again, I'm constantly hopping that soft rock from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, early 2000 is a perfect fit for figure skating, especially for men figure skating, but very few men seem to tap into that potential of music. Day is one of those skaters who do tap into it, and I just love some of his musical pieces. So I'm really looking forward to see what he picks this season. Zhengming Peng, I'm really not familiar with, so I have him last, but he could be that surprise dark horse that sends everything flying. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. Then ice dance. I am wondering, I think probably we're going to have another IM podium sweep here. But anyhow, I will give the judges pick my pick and then I'll justify my pick. So I think because of the political power of IM right now and the fact that the other skating schools just don't seem to have it together or seem to be able to put up much of a fight, The way I think the judges are going to go, I think Madison Chalk and Evan Bates are going to be in first place. Olivia Smart and Tim Dake probably in second place. Evgenia Laparova and Jeffrey Bessard in third place. Amelia Zingras and Vladimir Kolesnik in fourth place. Maybe I'm torn between those two, but maybe Caroline Green and Michael Parson in fifth place, maybe slightly ahead of Lucia Dermagat and Theo Lemercier. But then again, the judges might decide to go with Dermagat and Lemercier. Then followed by Hannah Lin and Ye Kwan, then the three Chinese dance pair. So probably the highest ranking Chinese pair, Shi Ye Wang and Ziyu Lu, followed by Zishi Zhao and Ling Hao He, and then Junfei Ren and Jiameng Zing. I think that's how the judges would play it. My pick, I think Madison Chalk and Evan Bates in first place. I will stick with that. Olivia Smart and Tim Deek in second place. I would stay with that. Amelia Zinglas and Vladimir Kolesnik, I think, in third place. Followed very closely by Evgenia and Jeffrey. Then for me, I would put them ahead of Caroline and Michael, Hannah, Lynn, and Ye Kwan. Then Caroline and Michael. Then Wang and Lu. Then Demagat and Le Mercier. Followed by Jishi and Ling Hao. And then Junfei and Jiameng would stay the same. At this point, I think we've seen Chalk and Bates medal even with a fall. I believe that a lot of people were saying, oh, Marco and Charlene got buried because they did not do a senior B. Well, we're going to see Madison and Evan debut with no senior B, and we're going to see what their scores are like. I'm thinking 85, 88 easy to start the season in the rhythm dance. We'll see how close that is. Again, we haven't seen Madison or Evan's programs this season. I'm hoping for something wonderful. I'm hoping, especially the rhythm dance, someone needs to come and save this rhythm dance madness. I'm hoping Madison and Evan can do that. Their free dance, I'm really looking forward to. I hope it doesn't disappoint. Olivia and Tim, I'm usually a big fan of their rhythm dance. I'm not a big fan of their rhythm dance this season. Again, I don't know what's going on with IM and their packaging this season. I'm not a big fan of the look, the biker rocker. I'm just not a big fan of their rhythm dance this season, which is odd because normally I really like their rhythm dance. But I am a huge fan of that free program. I was a huge fan of it last season. It seems like they've added even more to it, which makes it look even more fabulous. So I'm definitely a big fan. Amelia and Vladim, they are one of the young pairs that I'm huge support of. I think they have so much potential. They probably are not in the conversation for the Olympic team this season, but then you never know. You never know what might happen. But I do think they have the skills and the talent. I just don't know if they have enough political pull to get them where they need to be. We're going to have to wait and see. And then Evgenia and Jeffrey, I, again, think that the French made a backdoor deal like it happens, and Evgenia and Jeffrey were sacrificed to make sure that Laurence and Guillaume were giving max scores because ever since we heard that Laurence and Guillaume were coming back, the scores for Evgenia and Jeffrey has sort of like plateaued. So, yes. And I'm not expecting to see any rapid rise in their score this season. Then you guys know how much I adore Hannah and Yi. I like both of their programs this season. I think the programs have lots of rooms to grow. And I feel like by the time we get to the Olympics, they're going to be fabulous. Caroline and Michael, oh my God, that rhythm dance is so not it. I actually really like Caroline's little dress. I think that the little dress is really fun. I don't know who thought putting Michael in the fake ab shirt was a good idea. Again, packaging is so important. Packaging is so important. Oh my God. I think everyone, oh my God, no. That rhythm dance, no. But the free dance, again, it is so on brand for them. It highlights all of their strength. It is just so sad that the level of energy in that free dance, they didn't even put a tenth of that in the rhythm dance. Not that I blame them, because the theme of the rhythm dance is so blah that you just don't feel like putting your artistic energy in it. Wang and Lu, I feel like they're gonna have that home ice advantage, so I can definitely see them progressing. Um, Demogat and Le Mercier, the judges do not seem to be going with them this season. And again, I do like how uniquely French they are about the choices of both their rhythm dance and their free dance. I just don't know if either piece really has room to grow artistically as the season progresses. And then the other two Chinese pairs, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not really that familiar with them. So I'm gonna get myself familiar with them for this season. And then finally for the women. Ay, ay, ay. I'm going to go out on a limb here. The judges' pick, I feel, are going to be Ember Glenn, Alyssa Liu, Jia Chen, followed by Anastasia Gabanova, Rino Matsuki, then Hyen Lee, then Rinka Watanabe, followed by Hana Yoshida, then Ruyang Zhang, then Yizhu, then Nini Zai Ji An. That's how I think the judges are going to go. For my pick, I'm going to go Amber Glenn. And I know I have no justification for this, but I'm going to go Jia Chen. I have even less justification for this. I'm going to go Hyen Lee. I'm going to keep Anastasia Gabanova in fourth place. Then we're going to go Rino Matsuki. Then Alyssa Liu. Then Rika Watanabe. Then the rest of it is going to stay the same for me and the judges. My justification. If Amber can go clean, both for me and the judges, we're giving her everything. This is an easy 80. If Amber can land that triple axel in the short program and go clean on the rest of the jumps, easy 80 for Amber Glenn. I'm here for it. I know I keep putting Gia on the podium. I am going to manifest this happening. Yes, based on what happened in France, it's very unlikely that Gia will be on this podium. However, I believe in the power of putting things in the universe. So that's why I'm putting Gia on this podium. Hyen Lee is also going on this podium. If the tech callers would be a little nicer to the South Korean women, in the same way they are to Isabel Levito, the same way Isabel rarely gets a call on her jump, the same way that that poor child is literally bent over 90 degrees to the ice, yet we still give her 0.06 in positive GOE. If they could just be if they could give the South Korean women 1/10 of the love that they give to Isabel's jump, then yes, Hyen would be on the podium. If Hyen could simply replicate what she did at her last competition, I would put her on the podium. Or I would put Anastasia Gabanova on the podium if she can also replicate what she did at Cup of Georgia. I would have her on the podium. Personally, I would love for Rino Matsuki to win everything because she is aesthetically the kind of skater that speaks to me. Her skating is so beautiful. The edge control, the depth, the knee bend, the glide, her musicality, her toe point. One of the few skaters who can actually hold a position, but her inconsistency is it only matches the beauty of her skating. Again, I literally think the skating deities looked down at Reno and they were like, oh no, 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 you're too good. No consistency for you with jumps. But if she could go clean, she literally, in my opinion, is unbeatable. But I don't see her going clean. Now, I know I've put Alyssa Liu really low on this standing. And the only reason I've done that is for two reasons. One, Alyssa had to scrap her short program. So now she's going to be competing a completely new short program. And I have no idea what that looked like. Second, her free program really did not deliver what I was expecting. Gaga, I really was expecting her to give me some I want your lover, oh your lover's revenge you and that's not where she went. She went TikTok Gaga and I'm not really of that generation of the TikTok generation, and so that long program is really not speaking to me. So and then I also know she's having boots problems. So the combination of the new short program, her Gaga not really Gagaing me, and then the boots issues is the only reason why I have Alyssa down so low. Rika Watanabe is going for broke, and I respect that. Triple axel, triple toe, she's gonna go for broke. I think that's her only option. That is her only option of making the Olympic team, and she's going for it 100%. And I also think it's a smart move because if her body could get used to it this season, maybe she'll be able to get it next season and it'll be beneficial to her. Hana Yoshida has one of my favorite short program this season. That Kill Bill short program is just so badass. And I just want to see it clean at one competition so I can be like, yeah, that's all I'm wishing for her. Um, Ryu Yang Zhang, this is a skater with so much potential coming out of a depth field of young Chinese women skaters. So I really think she could pull a Laureen. Last competition, I had the three French women at the very bottom. Laureen was like, no, I'm not having it. And she finished top six. I feel like Rui Yang can be that for the Chinese women. If the other women do not come out and compete like they should, she could definitely have a top six finish. Yishui has such a beautiful triple toe combination, but her jumps are inconsistent. And then Nini, oh my goodness. Her jump technique is so problematic, so much under rotation, but she has such beautiful, lovely spins. She has such nice musicality, and sometimes she makes these beautiful position, these beautiful air position, but her jump technique, oh goodness gracious. But that is my prediction for the 2025 Cup of China. Now we're going to have to wait and see how wrong am I with my prediction. But you guys also leave me your prediction. Let me know in the comments.